Okay, thank you everyone for attention. My name is Kamau Charles, the nerdy scientist, and I'm going to share with you, what I consider my journey, and it's actually the key to my today's success story. So, first of all, before I go further, I would like to let you know that all my degrees, all my qualifications are in biological sciences. I'm probably better placed to speak to you about DNA and genetics than cryptocurrency. So I'm not a financial advisor, neither am I a tax consultant, neither am I a cryptographer. What I'm going to share with you is something actually I came to know about by an accident because I was listening to a radio station and they were talking about cryptocurrency and how evolution is taking place. So some of the information I'll share will change how you look at things. It will give you an opportunity to make a lot of money, but please do understand this is just from my experience, part of the evolution of money, evolution of trade. Where did we start and where are we and where are we going? I always say you can only appreciate the future if you know the past, okay? Then I'm going to focus mainly on two major cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and itcoinVault. Why those two? What is a cryptocurrency? And I'll use those mainly as an example. Where do they come from? Anything that one can own has to have a source. And this is why I actually go back to say everything that we'll be speaking about here, it's mainly math and science. And you cannot argue with those. That's why my logo is in science we trust, or should I say in math we trust, okay? And then we're gonna show you somehow you can make money either passively, and passively is when we say you just plug in and every day you make money without you having to do anything. Yeah, making money can be easy. And there's also the active way, how you can make even more money and even be a millionaire. Yes, I don't mean Zim dollar millionaire, I mean US dollar millionaire. And obviously how to get started, okay? So as you all know, we're living in a world that's always changing. And there's even an English saying that says the only constant thing in life is change. Depending on how you look at it, some changes are good, some changes are bad, but we're here to let you know how you can position yourself in this era where we're talking of disruptive technologies. And disruptive, I know it's a harsh word, but actually that's really what happened, because the changes you see and don't care whether you are happy with them or not. It doesn't care whether you are ready or not. For example, as you all know, we're living in the digital era, and by that I mean business has changed completely. I never used to like Facebook because I felt like I'm not very good with photos. I'm a camera shy person. But today I love Facebook. I don't think I can go a day without going to Facebook because that's how I promote my business. That's how I connect with people, especially now, with the COVID drama, Facebook remains the most popular and the biggest media house, which creates zero content. It's a multi-billion company. Uber, I don't know how it was in other countries, but here in South Africa, when the Uber was introduced, a lot of taxi industry, even today, they're still fighting. But Uber remains, Uber, Taxify, there's so many of them now, is the most profitable tax industry which owns no cars. What did they do? They just tap into the technology. Consumer-driven needs are always making us do things differently. I always use this example. When I just came to South Africa in 2008, when I came for my master's degree, I did not own a car, and I had to use the public transport. And here in South Africa, they have a very unique way of stopping the taxis on the streets. How you point determines whether you're going to alight on the next stage, or if you are going local. It's actually very crazy. I always got traumatized, And the other thing, obviously, the language is here, I go to a taxi and I say hi to a Zulu taxi driver in English, and the reaction, you know how that goes. Anyway, so today My 7-year-old daughter can arrange her own ride to her dancing school because she'll just go to the computer and she knows I just need to click here and I'm gonna get my taxi home, my ride home to school. How convenient, how easy. That's what technology does. Look at Airbnb. Until before COVID, it was the most profitable hotel and accommodation industry. Yes, still to date, even all the other hotel and accommodation industry are affected, but Airbnb owns no hotels. If I'm traveling and I love traveling, what you just need to have is a phone and you can go search and you can identify any hotel you want to visit, you know, and that's how it has become a multi-billion company, you know. And then today we'll be talking more about the cryptocurrencies. What do all these companies have in common? They are changing the status quo. They are going smart. You know, you go smart, you don't have to work hard to make money. Are you with me? You know, and because of this, we're seeing a huge shift in the financial industry. I call it wealth transfer. Everything is going digital, you know, and you'll see some shocking numbers when you see how much money one can make. But other thing that you need to pay attention to is when technologies are taking over, you hear a lot of us talking about fourth industrial revolution, robotic, you know, artificial intelligence. People are losing jobs. There is no need for me to hire somebody to do something that a robot can do so easily. Robots don't have emotions. So unfortunately, if you are not careful, you might be on the wrong side of these changes. You saw what happened to the post office. You know, most kids don't know what post office is for because now everything has gone digital. We're using emails and internet to communicate. I'm talking to you from all the different sides of the globe because of the technology. So what I'm saying is these are amazing technologies, but the question you need to always ask yourself, are you making money when you're using this technology? Are you making money when we are using Zoom tonight? So that's what you want to change. And that's the smartest thing that you can do, you know, and you don't need to have millions to get started, okay? So just to go to the money, because we hear more about money. Once upon a time, money used to be a cow. I'm joking, you know, we started with the barter trade where our great grandparents would exchange goods for goods. It was a trust-dependent system. You know, you need to have coincidence of needs. I have chicken, I have to look for somebody who has goats, and we have to decide how many chicken will be exchanged for that. Today, we can still do barter trade, but to what level? It was, as you can see, now from the people felt like I don't need to be walking around with what I have, looking for people who want, they have what I want so that we can exchange. They decided, let's use other form of money like gold, you know, animal parts like horns and all that, some special rocks, you know, such that I can move to any country and I can do international trade. Because if you don't know what we grow in Kenya, there is nowhere South African can do business in Kenya, you know. Yeah, just by there you'll hear me referring to Kenya a lot because I'm a Kenyan living in South Africa. Okay, so after these, people, and I want to talk more about gold because I have never done gold trading, but I know gold is something I want to keep. Why? Because gold fits the definition of what money is. According to the economic business school that we were taught that money should be scarce, I tend to differ, yeah, because it depends on where you're looking. Money should retain its value or grow in value. I know all of you right now, you're thinking, this guy, you know, is lying to us because you know very well, whatever currency you are using, I'm using the right terminology, you know, 10 years ago used to be worth more than, it had more buying power than it has today. And that's why I want to clear one myth. What we're using today, it's actually not money, it's a currency. And how did this happen? You know, gold, although it's very good as money, it's very difficult to cut it into smaller pieces. You know, if you want to go buy a small item, you need to have a special tool to do that. And that was one of the major inconvenience that was caused by use of gold as money. You know, so it's perfect money, but poor as currency. So what did they do? Once again, what did the consumer-driven needs do? it changed such that people decided, I'll take the gold because the piece of rock, and what makes it valuable, it's just its scarcity. You don't walk out of your house and you collect gold on the streets. You have to spend energy and millions of money, billions of money to mine gold, you know? So what they did was, if I have gold, my wealth or my richness is based on how much gold I have, and I would take it to the bank, and the bank would put it in a vault, and they would give the paper money, and that's how the paper currency was introduced. So this remained true until 1971. This is a very important date that I would really like you to also go and do some reading on this. In 1971 or before 1971, if any country wanted to print more paper money, more currency, they had to mine gold. They had to avail gold. And that's why most people say before that time, God controlled how much money we have in circulation, you know, until a very selfish politician, the American president, Richard Nixon, decided to detach the value of paper money from gold. And why did he do this? He realized in 1971, for those of us who are old enough, as if I was there, he realized that for me to print the amount of paper currency I need to fight the Vietnam War, war brings a lot of money, but you need a lot of money, you know? For me to do that, I would need to have access to all the gold that's available globally. Remember, America is not the biggest gold producer. It's countries, rich countries like South Africa, Zimbabwe, Congo, Zimbabwe. I hope I said Zimbabwe. You know, it's the former fruit basket of Africa that are the biggest gold producers, not America. So when he realized that, he decided, I don't want to attach gold to this. And from today on, as your government, and that's where the word fiat comes in, as your government, I'm going to give you a piece of paper. If I write 100, that's $100 note. Don't ask me for gold or silver backing up that value. You need to trust me as your government. And that introduced the birth of inflation. And they started exploiting these, and not just, you know what happened to Zimbabwe? You know, at some point, Robert Mugabe, rest in peace, you know, Uncle Bob, you know, printed 100 trillion Zim dollar note. Do you know what that means? That money became, that currency became useless. You know, they were printing this currency as if it's going out of fashion. And guess what? It did. At some point, there were actually jokes going around, and they were saying in Zimbabwe, a tissue paper is worth more than a Zim dollar note. Let that sink in so that you understand. It happened to Zimbabwe. It happened to Greece. It happened to Cyprus. It's happening to Venezuela as we speak. As we are talking, South Sudan is running at about 150 or 170 inflation rate. You know what that means? Anything that you owe, as they print these more and more of these currency, whatever you have in your pocket loses its buying power. Okay, and that's why we have seen other innovation, people going ahead and saying, you know what, we need new ways of doing things, you know, and that's where the cryptocurrency comes in. You know, that's the latest form of money. And I just wanted you to connect the gaps and see, we started from here, we're going here. Today we are talking of cryptocurrency. You may not like it, but that's where we are, and that's the world we are in. And for you, what you need to do now is to ask yourself, how can I exploit this opportunity and make money? So just to summarize this, you know, cryptocurrency, just simply put, it's money similar to the dollar, to the pound, you know, to the rand, to the pula, naira, cedis, kwacha, whichever the shilling, you know, you can use it to buy goods and services. Yeah, it's bringing some equality in the world today, because I make my money in rands. So I could be a rand millionaire. I'm a Kenyan, could be a shilling millionaire. You go to America, that's not equality we want. If you own one Bitcoin or one Bitcoin vault, it's one Bitcoin vault irrespective of the country. So that's the equality we are achieving in the cryptocurrency. So for me, I consider this as a revolution that's bringing sanity to the world. Anyone can open a fiat to crypto exchange. Yes, now that's the transition we are undergoing. But years to come, probably we'll forget about the dollars and the nairas and the kwachas and the pullers because everybody will be using cryptocurrency. It's convenient, it's easy to use. I don't know whether you are listening when I was playing the first video. You know, it's free. It's just like opening an email address. I'm talking to you now, but if I wanted to send you money wherever country you are, it's not as easy. We don't have that freedom. Yet we're the one who worked so hard to make that money. But now with the cryptocurrency, I can send you millions now and nobody will even notice because we send it via internet, person to person, similar to how we used to do the barter trade. It's cheap and fast whenever you remove the middleman because cryptocurrency is all about the blockchain. Whenever you hear blockchain, you're just moving the middleman so that things move much quicker. It's inflation free. It's deflation, and that's the word we use, like gold. And as I said, gold has nothing special on it, it's just scarcity. Other than making our ladies look extra beautiful with those shiny stuff, gold is the most useless metal on earth, yet it's the most valuable. Why? It's because of scarcity, you know? So the same thing happens with the cryptocurrency. Most of them are deflationary. They grow in value over the time. And this is what introduces the business opportunity. How did they manage to do this? Gold scarcity is limited to the knowledge that we have. We probably have so much gold in the world, only that we can only access it based on what we know. With cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, there will only be 21 million coins ever produced. This is a mathematic and science. You can argue, you can do whatever, that number is set. And this is to be shared by a growing world population today sitting at about 7.7 billion people. So gold and other cryptocurrencies like itcoinVault, yeah, they are not increasing in number, but the people going after them are growing every day. That's why we say these are true, it's a good store of value if you look at it in a longer period of time. And we are seeing a lot of companies now starting to accept it as money. So when did this start? This happened in 2008, 2009. And those of you who are into finances, you know very well that's when we had the first financial crash, you know, whereby people are watching the money, their money lose its buying power as you're watching it. The world economy collapsed. And why did it collapse? We trusted a central organization, our government. We trusted them to look after our own currency, but what do? They do everything for their own good. So with cryptocurrency, we don't need a third person. You only need somebody to educate you about it, and then there you can even come up with their own coins and solve different problems. That's why we say Bitcoin protocol is a pioneer and it's an open source software, meaning that you can go change it to suit yourself. Somebody may not be happy to have only 21 million coins. So you can check that number. Okay, and that way we have seen a lot of other exciting projects coming up like itcoinVault, but we'll discuss more about that later on. Okay. So how big is the crypto market? By the way, it's very small. If you know how big Forex market is, it's about 5.6 trillion industry. Crypto market, we're talking about 380 billion US dollars, and it's growing very fast. This information, you can easily access it at these two websites, either CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. It's like Yahoo and Gmail, okay? How fast is this industry growing? I personally heard about Bitcoin for the first time in May 2017. And I have kept that number because I started reading and analyzing how big this industry is. And that time it was 20 billion, you know, US dollars. So after that, I was like, okay, what's really going on here? You know, over the time, we have seen many more projects coming up. We have more than 5,900 altcoins. It's alternative coins to Bitcoin. That's why we call them altcoins, okay? And you can, some are very exciting, others are useless, so you have to be very careful, okay? So I have all heard about Bitcoin, you know, and how it has been growing in value. Just to refresh your memory, you know, Bitcoin gained value in the year 2010 in May. I was in South Africa watching Soccer World Cup. And that's when one gentleman in America decided to use 10,000 Bitcoins to buy 2 pizzas, which were worth $25. So those of you who are good with math, you can see if you divide 10,000 with $25, you can see officially the first value of Bitcoin was 0.0025 of a dollar, not even a penny. You know, our Kenya shilling is much weaker, so it was about 25 cents. Okay. So people normally say, what makes these grow in value? As you can see here, personally, I have a different approach when I'm analyzing cryptocurrency. I look at the all-time low. I don't look at all-time high, you know, and I'll explain later on. You know, from year to year, you can see Bitcoin has been growing in value. You know, there hasn't been a single year whereby the lowest of the previous year of the current year was lower than the other year. So that means you'll never, ever in our lifetime buy a Bitcoin at less than $3,500. You can keep wishing. That's an opportunity missed. That's an opportunity gone. Okay. And for me now, if you look at the current price of Bitcoin, it's playing, almost getting to $12,000. I can't afford a full Bitcoin vault now, a full Bitcoin. You know, but remember, these coins, you know, they can be subdivided into smaller units, but still that cannot give you the wealth that you need. You know, that's why we're introducing one of the most exciting coin, which is, you'll love it even more because it's a Bitcoin, but a better form of Bitcoin called the itcoinVault. This project was just launched in December 2019, so you're still not late to get involved. We're just getting started, actually. And I just want to spend few minutes to do a quick comparison. There's going to be a bit of repetition here and there so that this can sink in, you know. So here I'm just showing you a graph comparing Bitcoin and itcoinVault, you know. So Bitcoin is 11 years in age. It's an old baby now. And don't be surprised people still ask you what Bitcoin. Can I join Bitcoin? Can you join the rad? Can you join the dollar? You know, you can take advantage of the opportunity. You can buy Bitcoin, okay? Out of the 21 million Bitcoins, already we have 18.4 million Bitcoins in circulation. So that tells you the opportunity is gone. We only have like about what's 21 minus 18.4? We only have very few Bitcoins left. You know, so mining for Bitcoin is out of the question. It's not enough. The price has to go 4 times more for it to be profitable. As you can see, it has staggered a lot in pricing. You know, if you compare with itcoinVault, it's less than 1 year old. We only have 7.8 itcoinVault in circulation out of the 21 million, meaning that you have about 13.2 million to go. There is an opportunity to make money. Market cap, how we rank the coins. Currently, Bitcoin is the top ranked, and they are ranked based on how many coins do you have in circulation and what the cost of the coin. So currently, the market cap of Bitcoin was about 1.2 billion. Yeah. There is one major concern we have with Bitcoin, and that's why like a lot of people are unhappy and the acceptance hasn't gone as we would have expected. 11 years and still people are not seeing enough shops accepting Bitcoin. Only a few of them, like Take a Lot, you know, Microsoft, Virgin Active. There's a lady in Kenya who sells her nyama choma meat in Kenya, and she accepts payment in Bitcoin. You know, I accept itcoinVault, you know. So one of the major concerns people have with Bitcoin is its unfair distribution. Did you know that more than 60% of all the circulating Bitcoins are owned by 0.06%? Like very few people own a lot of Bitcoins. That's a major problem, because when that individual decides, I want to get rid of some of them, that's when you hear people saying, hey, the market has crashed. This coin has died. It's 11 years, still not dead, yeah? It's still kicking, and it's getting stronger, you know? The other thing you need to compare Bitcoin Vault is backed by a community of people. Currently, we have obviously about 300,000 members and still growing. That means the distribution is much better. And you'll see when I explain, how these coins are distributed through mining, The coin had done an incredible run. Obviously, the world knows how to teach you a lesson. So, but you can see from all-time low, it went to $10, and now it was sitting at around $150. So it's still a very nice opportunity to get involved and create incredible wealth. That's a growth of about 1,398%. Incredible numbers here. Just buying a coin and you just keep. There's a gentleman who bought, I think, a Bitcoin, about 5,000 Bitcoin in the year, I think 2010, around there, and he managed to buy about 5,000 Bitcoin. Do you know that $27 has turned to be $56 million today? Just buying and keeping it. Okay, we're living in a very interesting world. So why choose Bitcoin Vault? I know you have felt like how excited I am about this project. It's based on Bitcoin protocol in that there will only be 21 million Bitcoin vaults ever produced, meaning it's a very scarce commodity. It's only limited to 21 million. The moment you own one, nobody can get that. We have way more than 21 million millionaires in the world, and they cannot get one Bitcoin vault even if they wanted to, So, but it's actually more than a Bitcoin in that the user can decide, do you want a fast transaction? Do you want a given secure transaction? That's why we call it, it's a safer Bitcoin. It has a feature that it has 3 keys. One of them we call it the anti-theft solution. I know I come from Kenya, and when mobile money transfer was introduced, we had a major challenge in that if you made a mistake and you sent the money to the wrong person, you are doomed. It's gone. Unless that person really trusts you and they send it back to you, it's gone. Forget about it. Until they introduce the reversal option. Okay, so the same thing with cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and all the others, it's a one-way traffic. If you send the Bitcoin to the wrong person, it's gone. You cannot reverse that. Guess what? Bitcoin Vault gives us that option. Actually, you can be able to reverse any transaction within 24 hours. If you want a fast transaction, you can override either of those. So you can decide, how do I want this transaction to take place? Just the way like today, if you go do so, if somebody, and this is something you want to know, because of how attractive these coins are, you can just keep it there and it's growing in value over the time. That means there are a lot of people are interested in stealing them. More than 80 billion worth of, a lot of Bitcoins, millions of Bitcoins have been lost through hacking. Most of these exchanges where we exchange our fiat currency to buy the Bitcoin, they have a lot of these coins, so they are prone to hacking. Guess what? Today, if all those companies like the Binance and all those big exchanges started keeping their coin in Bitcoin Vault, and you go hack into their wallet without even reporting or doing anything, they can reverse that transaction. How awesome is that? That's the solution that Bitcoin Vault is giving us. As you have seen, as I mentioned earlier, it's a community-based currency. That means it has a lot of love. If you have the blessing from a community, you'll go very far. And they also like partnering with other companies to make sure that there is fair distribution even of the mining. Did you know that most of the mining for Bitcoin is done in China only? That means if China does anything crazy, the Bitcoin community, the blockchain is collapsed. If there is no blockchain, that coin does not exist anymore. So to make sure that that doesn't happen with Bitcoin Vault, there is now the way we have ISO standard in science, whereby we standardize how things are done. We have a system that standardizes and regulates who is mining where and how. Okay, that's something actually as a mining city, because I know this presentation do have some members in it. this feature, this is about the DDMS. It's something that's actually protecting the community, because what we have seen, and sorry for deviating a little bit, there was a time like a Bitcoin protocol forked, divided into two to Bitcoin Gold, and it had some interesting things it was trying to achieve. But we have mafias in cryptocurrency. These are people with a lot of money, and what they do is they go and they take over those projects. Right now, you may have your project planning to do 5 years, 10 years, 20, whatever you have, but these people don't care. So what they do is they attack that a coin, they put a lot of mining power, and they take over the blockchain, and they kill the project. So to avoid that from happening, itcoinVault has partnered with a global organization that does regulation to protect community-based projects, so that our kids and kids' kids can actually benefit from what we are starting today. Obviously, whenever you get in early enough, it's a very profitable journey. You know, this coin, I remember before I went to Kenya, was less than $1. Actually, people started mining itcoinVault when it had no value. You know, but by the time I got in, it was already $1 in December 2019. It went to about $10 in March, went all the way up to about $400, and now we're looking at it sitting at around 150. So it's giving us another chance to actually accumulate more coins, because this is just the early stages, you know. Okay. I hope we're still together.
Yes, so, we're still together.
Thank you. What about exciting things happening, and which have others which have already happened? But this slide is just to remind you how you can get involved. I always say this: the easiest, the most straightforward is to buy and hodl. Hold on for your dear life. It's not a spelling mistake. It's actually one of the languages used in cryptocurrency. So here you are literally investing in that coin. You buy the coin, you keep it. If you wanna go this road, this is a medium to long term. The value of the cryptocurrency is not now, it's in the future. You buy, you keep, and give it a year, give it 2 years. Once again, $27 became 56 million US dollars in less than 10 years. Just buy and you keep it there. How do you do that? Remember, although there'll only be 21 million coins produced, each coin can be divided to 100 million people. I'm referring to Bitcoin and itcoinVault. The way you can share $1, 1 shilling, 1 naira, 1 cedi to 100 people and everybody gets a cent, the same concept applies here. So you don't need to buy a full coin. You can buy a fraction of the coin. We call it a Satoshi. Okay, so here you don't have any limitation. Just go, if you're in South Africa, register with Val or Luno or Altcoin Trader, or if anywhere, like you just register with the exchange that's available in that country. We have Val, Local Bitcoin, Coinbase, Luno, Binance. Actually, talking of Binance, I heard now you can actually buy Bitcoin using M-Pesa in Kenya through Binance. I trust Binance. Is the top exchange, and hopefully soon, as you can see, if you want to buy itcoinVault, you would need to first buy Bitcoin, because it hasn't been listed on most of the local exchanges that we use. So you buy Bitcoin and then you convert Bitcoin using any of these exchanges like Liquid, Coinil, MXC. You know, they are growing every day, but I just listed few of them, you know, and you convert the Bitcoin to itcoinVault, because itcoinVault has more energy, you know. So we want to see it growing to what the value Bitcoin is at, and it's going to even do better because there is more education behind it. The second way is trading. Here you can make millions and lose millions within a second. All what I can say is, here you spend time looking at the charts, the support, the resistance. Should I buy? Should I sell? Is it time to, you know, because if you dare do the opposite, you're gonna feel it. I have done that because I'm a trader. I also like until you feel you're able to support the whole community, not a trade. I'm a wannabe trader, but I do understand the basics. When you are trading, you buy low and you sell high. Okay? Is that clear? Because people tend to do crazy things. When you see the market is dropping, you're not selling. You don't sell low. Okay. So here, because we have two ways you can trade. You can short the market. Shorting the market is you see the price has gone to the highest, you think that's the highest possible, you sell. As it's dropping, the difference between the price at which you sold and the price at which it stops, that's your target profit. The difference, that's your profit. Okay? Or the other way around. So if you want to be successful with cryptocurrency, just buy and hold. These will drive you mad, but you see a lot of money there. As I said, where do these coins come from? The third way is mining. Mining, you can make a lot of money passively. As I said, a lot of people started mining Bitcoin Vault when it had no value, because mining, you just remember, out of the 21 million coins that we're going to be having, and I'm now going a little bit deeper into the mining process, but just to make this simplest possible, mining, you can say mining is production of new coins. Out of the 21 million Bitcoins, they are just released to the users through verifying of new transactions. What does that happen? How does that happen? Remember, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Vault are digital currencies. Anything that's digital has the original and the copy. If I sent this message to invite you to this presentation, I copied the first original message and everybody else received a copy. Who received the original one? Nobody knows. So to make sure that you know now, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Vault, they have a value. So when I said a Bitcoin to you or a Bitcoin Vault, you want to be sure that you did not receive a copy. I have never seen a fake Bitcoin, yeah, or a Bitcoin Vault. Good luck. How much fake fiat currency do we have? Can just print it and draw things, yeah? So what makes sure that we don't get that is the process we call mining. Mining is simply put, testing for plagiarism or duplication. Every transaction you see in cryptocurrency is recorded on the database. And for you to verify a new transaction, all you do is you just have to go check and see this transaction we're seeing now, has it ever been seen before? Well, how do you do that? You use these specialized computers that can analyze a lot of data, you know, and they just test for that. The computer that verifies that blocks exist every 10 minutes. You get a known amount of coins released to you as a miner. That's why we say, whether people join the companies or they don't, there is still wealth being generated. And I'll dig deeper into this, okay? So without blockchain, which is just a glorified database, Bitcoin and Bitcoin Vault would not exist. Just as we always say, without the internet, the Zooms, the WhatsApp, the email would not exist. Okay, so this is just like one of the farms we have. You know, you can see Mindbase is a hosting company that keeps most of these computers. Initially, you could mine actually from your garage using a normal computer, but as the mining difficulties goes higher, it becomes impossible to verify a lot of that data with a smaller computer. Because imagine, for example, if you take Bitcoin, if you were to look at all the data that has been generated since 2008 to date, it's a lot of data. So you need a supercomputer. These were the gaming computers, you know, the GPUs. You could mine with them some years later, but now using these hyper ASIC, you know, application-specific integrated circuits computers to mine cryptocurrency. Luckily, the same computer used to mine Bitcoin can be used to mine a Bitcoin Vault. And some of us actually, when we joined Mining City, we were mining Bitcoin, which became highly unprofitable. It's not profitable to mine Bitcoin today. You know, the price hasn't grown as high as it should have, make it a profitable venture. But that doesn't mean that people are not mining, or I'm not saying Bitcoin is a bad investment, but I'm saying you'll not make good money right now. Okay. So Bitcoin Vault, I just basically briefly explained to you that we'll only have 21 million Bitcoin Vault. And as you can see, between November 2019 and May 2020, 25% of all the available Bitcoin Vault was mined. That window is gone. Okay. So during that time, we were receiving 175 Bitcoin Vaults every 10 minutes. I don't want to dwell so much into the past because that opportunity is gone. We are here in this phase now. And this is running since May until November 2020. We're going to get 44% of all the Bitcoin that will ever be produced. How much is that? If you can calculate that every block that is verified, we're receiving 150 Bitcoin Vault, every 1 hour has 6 minutes. My math were here on spot on, yeah? I'm impressed. Then in a day, we have 24 hours. So we are actually sharing 21,600 Bitcoin Vaults every single day, every 24 hours. Once again, to emphasize on this is why we say, if you buy a mining plan, you can make money passively without doing anything, because whether you're sleeping, whether people are doing anything, there is that amount of wealth that's being transferred. If you take this number and you multiply with the value of Bitcoin Vault, then you see how much money is being shared per day. So this is why I'm so aggressive, because I want to get as many of the coins as possible, you know? And the price range, you'll see early on, here there was no value, but these are people already, these are millionaires already. So this is a phase where we are taking advantage of this. So don't worry, as long as you understand that we have a coin that's solving a very unique problem in the crypto industry. Just put your head down, get as many coins as possible, especially in the next 2 years. These are critical time. I personally have given myself 15 to 18 months to accumulate. If you want to be a millionaire, make sure you get as many of these coins as possible. Okay. That doesn't mean that your contract will stop. You know, that, remember, the last Bitcoin will be mined in the year 2140. That's 120 years from today. I'm looking at you, just had 120 years to you. You still be very beautiful, just referring to the ladies. Okay. So, okay, are we together?
Yes, we're still together.
Okay. So, how are we doing this? Yeah, I'm not mining these things in my garage. Sorry to disappoint you on that. So we actually belong to a company called Mining City, and that's the CEO. This information is publicly available. You can chat to him. He's on LinkedIn. He's on Facebook. It's Greg. I don't want to try to say his second name. And what the mission of the CEO was, we want to change people's mind until, and we want to give people hope. You know, people have lost a lot of money to scams in the past. They wanted to come up with something legit, something that can give people hope in cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is a beautiful place to be, but a lot of get poor quick scams have ruined this opportunity to many people, you know, and they are trying their best to make sure that we see this opportunity the way it's supposed to be, you know. So the project started, you know, in 2018, but it was officially launched in February. I personally joined Mining City in July 2019. We are growing very fast. We should be way more than 300,000 members, you know. We actually reached the 1 billion US dollar sales in less than 1 year. Big companies like the Amazons, you know, took them 5 years. So that's something to be proud of, you know. The most exciting part is out of that 1 billion, 35% of that went to people like me. Why do you think I get this excitement to do what I'm doing here? Because they pay us nicely, you know? So with this opportunity, you can decide to join as a passive member, whereby you just take advantage of the daily coin that we share. Or you can be an active member, you educate people and you build a team and you can make a lot of money. Personally, I like educating, I like empowering. And I always say, even if I wasn't making money with cryptocurrency, I would still want people to know there is hope. You know, you don't have to depend on selfish politicians, you know. So, but they're not working alone. So Mining City can be put as like the mining front, the marketing front of the whole opportunity. We have the brains behind everything that we are doing. And this is the exciting part for me. You know, it's only that I cannot, we don't belong to Mindbase, we belong to Mining City, but the engine, the science behind everything, it's thanks to Eyal. You know, he's from Israel. For those people who know the Jewish there, those people are smart, whatever they eat up there, you know. So what was his mission? Blockchain should be easy to implement, and those using the solution should not have to understand it in order to use it. That's a scientist speaking. You know, you don't need to know why you're doing what. You just need to benefit from it. And that's why sometimes I say we overanalyze things. You know, we drive cars. I really don't know how those things really work, but I can drive the internet, because people come and ask you like, so how does Bitcoin really work? I don't know, but I know how I can make money with it. Okay, so Mindbase is the engine, is the science behind everything that we are doing, the technology, the facility, the hosting. You know, this company started in 2017. They have several mining farms, you know, 3 in Kazakhstan, one actually 3 now in China, and there's another one in Paraguay, you know. Then we have the head offices for both Mining City and Mindbase in Poland. By the way, you're welcome to visit these opportunities. Don't have to have special ranks. You know, the CEO, Greg, just said the other day, if you want to travel, you know, they can even help you make arrangement to go and see this site, because they want people to know that it's not like a group of people who sat down and they are doing all this on a computer. There is real mining, there is real offices with real people working in those offices. We have more than 300,000 people who are hired by Mining City and Mindbase. Okay, they are actually awarded recently as a top 10 mining firms. So you'll see them in conferences where they are driving the technology and how people can do things better. Remember, I was talking about these organizations that are trying to bring sanity into the mining world, you know, the decentralized digital mining standard and the World Digital Mining Organization. And these, for me, you know, though it's a discussion we can have on a different day, this protect community-driven projects from 51% attack. This is when hostile people take over a blockchain and they go mine as many of those coins. They take them, sell them cheaply, you know, into the exchanges. That does happen. Okay, so if you control the mining part, they also try other strategies to get those coins and also ruin the opportunity. You know, we have seen some dramatic things going on. But as I always say, depending, if you know the people behind the project, what they are doing and what they are aiming to achieve, all what you do is do your part, you know, because these are community, your actions affect the whole community. So transparency, you know, honesty, accountability is what these two gentlemen are always campaigning for. And that's why for me, also I want to represent them the way they want to be represented. Okay, so we are safe from 51% attack. All what we need to do is keep educating people and keep growing these opportunities. Okay, so how do you become part of this awesome community? We are family. So you choose any of the 6 mining packages that are offered by Mining City. Okay, so you rent out the mining power, you know, through Mining City, but this is hosted by Mindbase. Plan, which is a primary plan, a promotional plan, it's available. You still have your mining contract for 1,100 days or 1,200 days, but it's very limiting. So I try to avoid this. And if you have a primary plan, in case I have members on this call, you can add another primary plan. 2 primary plan are equivalent to a standard plan. Then you become a citizen. Okay, otherwise you are just a resident as we speak. Okay, so that's how much you make. You know, I can share with, I'll open one of the accounts if the time allows and show you, because as I said, the amount of money you make on mining cannot be guaranteed or predetermined. It will vary from day to day, you know, but what we have seen is you just know it's a medium to long-term opportunity. I always say, for me, I check my mining on every three months, 6 months. That's the time it makes sense. You know, every day it will be moving up and down. Like the last 2 days, we have seen a lot of drama with the price going up and down. But I always say, if you're a Bitcoin farmer, Bitcoin Vault farmer, your production is not negatively affected by the price, because you're not mining every day to sell every day. This is a medium to long-term opportunity. Okay, but most of us want to make even more money, you know, and that's the active income. And the active,
remember, at Mining City, you can make passive income where you choose one of the mining plans and you wait for only 10 days, and for the next 3 years or 1,100 days, you'll be receiving your daily reward based on the company's profitability. The amount you make is not predetermined, it changes over the time.
active income, you actually write your own check. Here they guarantee you based on your activities. If you want to make $200 every day, if you want to make $1 million, not obviously not every day, you know, it's up to you. You write these numbers. You can use any order you want. You can change the currency as well. Your activity determines how much money you will make. Okay, and how do they make sure that this happens? So they have a very structured system which tells you how much money you are expecting to make based on your activities. So they pay us in actually 3 main commissions, you know. So I don't know how many of you read the book by Robert Kiyosaki, you know, the cash flow quadrant. And he says, like, 95% of the world population are either employed somewhere or they are self-employed. And those are only chasing 5% of the wealth in the world. I don't want to be that side. I left that side, you know? Okay. Then on the right, we have the investors. Investors is people who will say, you know what, I have listened and I know cryptocurrency is here to stay. I want to buy some. I want to buy some mining plants. I want to put my money somewhere so that the money can work for me. The people on the left quadrant, if you're self-employed or you are employed, you work for money. You don't show up at work, you either get fired or you get sued, you don't make any money. The other side, you have money working for you. I have few mining plans that are running. I have a platinum, I have gold, I have bronze plan, and a couple of standards. I think I have about 8 accounts. Whether I teach you how this works or not, I make my money on daily basis. That's money working for me. But I can make even more money by teaching people how to make more money. So you open a business within a business. I can say, like, my team is my business system. And how does that work? Obviously, the first commission, you know, it pays 5 to 10%. You know, I'll quickly run through it. Then you have the team cycle bonus. I love that one. And then plan 3 bonus, it just says you are the main member here. Yeah. The first 5 people who joins your team, who joins you by registering with your business link, you make 5% of whatever they brought. just to make this clear, you know, we all go through the shopping malls and we run to our friends and we tell them, hey, at takealot.com, there is a special. Hey, at Woolworths, at Pick and Pay, at Tuskys in Kenya, you know, at wherever you shop, Pick and Pay, whatever. You gossip about that. That shop sells $1 million worth of sales. How much money do you make from that? Zero. Yet you are the one who advertised for them. I worked in the corporate and used to spend more than 50% of our revenue on marketing, like advertising on magazines, sponsoring workshop. I'm a scientist, so most of them were like workshop and seminars. You know, those are blind marketing. Now, Mining City decides, instead of marketing on TVs, on magazines, they pay us. So your amount of gossiping you do is rewarded nicely. And this is just one of the commission, you know. So 5% for the team A, the first 5 people. Then the 6th person to infinity, you get paid 10%. So if my main account, I have like a gold plan and I sell a gold plan as the 6th person, I'm going to be paid $420. If I have a platinum and I sell a platinum, 10% of $12,600, that's $1,260 just for one sale that you made. And you still say that making money is hard. You just gossip, copy what I'm doing, and you make your money. Okay. The second commission, this is awesome, you know. So once you join, you will always have your right team and your left team. And because the team cycle bonus, the way you have a soccer or a rugby match, you have 15 aside or 11 aside. That's the same concept here. So the trick here is to balance those two sides, you know. So any plan that you sell or it's sold by people that you introduce to the business, or it's sold by people that introduce you to the business, we call them the spillovers. If they sell a primary plan, everybody above gets half a point. A standard, 1 point. Bronze, 2 points. Silver, 4. And platinum, 21. And gold, 7. The rule says, if by the end of the day, you have more than 5 points on the right and 5 points on the left, you get paid $200. So all the points are taken away and then you get paid your $200. If you have 10 here and 10 on the other side, that's $400. So it can be multiples of 5. How awesome. I love this commission. And remember, every cycle is $200 worth of Bitcoin vault. So when you cycle the most, when the price of the coin is lower, your $200 is giving you way many more coins. So around now, when the market is going correction, this is the time you want to cycle as many times as possible. This is the time you want to build the biggest team possible. I always say, Warren Buffett said, when other people are fearful, that's the time you become greedy. When people are greedy, that's the time you become cautious. Trading sentiments, you know, when others are selling, you buy. When others are buying, you sell. If you apply that principle in life, you're gonna make the most out of all this. So the last commission that I love the most, because I'm a team person. Once you become a leader and in your team, you have people making money. Yeah. Every time somebody in your team cycles and make $200, you get paid $10. So help others earn and you even earn more. This is the most beautiful commission you see, because whenever you open your account and you see more of this commission coming, you know your team is making money, and that makes me so happy and so proud of what we are doing. Okay, so those are the 3 main commissions that, you know, I wanted you to have an idea how it works. You know, this is more of an introductory training. If you want to go into details, we can we do have members training where we can discuss all that in length, you know. And this is actually my last slide, you know, on how to get started. Obviously, you're here because somebody invited you to this call. So they will give you an invitation link to join the Mining City. I know you loved how I presented. I'm messing with you. You don't belong to me. You belong to whoever brought you to this session. So once you register, the next thing is you have already made up your mind that you're going to mine with the real plan, which is the platinum plan or whichever. So you convert your local currency into that, whether into whatever is worth $12,600 as an example, or if you want to go for the standard, you know. So for you to do that, you need to register with any of the fiat exchange wallets like the VAL, local Bitcoin, crypto.com, Coinbase, you know. That's what we use to convert the fiat currency to Bitcoin, because Mining City is a 21st century company. They only accept payment in cryptocurrencies. Me too, by the way, okay? Then once you have done that, you choose a plan, and then you just buy and wait for 10 days and happily ever after, okay? So I would like to stop this presentation at this point, and then maybe I can take one or two questions